have our 6-inch, our 8-inch, our 10-inch, our 12-inch knives, our hawk. And the other component, and what we're going to be explaining today is, this is the first coat. We're going to be doing the first coat. I'm going to be explaining the steps of the first coat, which will require paper tape, okay? Let's get a nice fresh cut here, just to show you guys. There is a front and the back to the tape. A lot of people don't know that, okay? There is a crease that will fold. The crease always goes to the drywall, right? This tape is also spark perforated, right? So when it's made and it's run through, it's hit with sparks. If you hold it up to the light, you can really see it. It's hard to see to the naked eye, but that's what allows the moisture and the water content in the compound to absorb through the tape, right? So that'll pull that right out. This helps us when we're doing inside and outside corners, right? We're going to fold it, and that's how we'll set our corners in here, but we're going to get to that, right? I'm just going to focus on the first coat. We're not doing pre-filling. Pre-filling is a whole nother ball game, different material. I sheetrock this myself, so I think it's a pretty good sheetrock job. So we're not going to have to do any pre-filling. We're just going to concentrate on doing the first coat today, okay? And the components that we're going to be taping are the flat seams, the cross butts, the corners, or in the trade we call these caps, and then the inside corners, the screws or fasteners, corner bead, metal corner bead. There's tape on corner bead, there's mud on corner bead, there's different types, but for this particular application, we decided to use the metal. It's nailed on, and we'll eventually fill that in and float it in. So our goal for you guys is to have you achieve a smooth, flat wall, right? The manufacturers, they always recommend 3 coats. I always do 3 coats. Can you get away with 2 coats? Absolutely, you can. Can you use mesh tape? Absolutely, you can. You can do it in closets. You could do it behind counters, cabinets, excuse me. You could do it in places that you don't see, okay? But if you want a smooth, flat finish on your drywalls, and you're going to see it, you're going to sit there and look at it every day, you don't want to see where the seams are. You don't want to see the imperfections. You want to make it nice and smooth and flat. So that's our goal today. We're going to show you how to get there step by step by step, okay? We put our tape. We want this on the crossbar. We want this piece of tape to end here. And when we put this piece of tape across, it buries the fresh cut end. And it's the same thing with the cap in the corner, right? Cap up here, we're going to bury that. We're going to bring it down here. We're going to cut it. The corner is going to bury the cut edge, this tape. For whatever reason, I've seen people do the corners first, the seams first, then the cross butts. That doesn't work for me, and it shouldn't for you. I'm telling you what works the best. So with that being said, let's start with the cross butt. I should probably tell you why it's called the cross butt. That's kind of important too. These are rolled edges. We call it a butt edge. When the blade comes down and cuts the sheetrock, it's not beveled. So it's called the end butt, or the butt of the sheetrock. When you have 2 butt edges connected together, our job is to make that flat, right? So we're already starting out at a disadvantage because we don't have the beveled edge in here. We have a cross butt. Now these, again, I sheetrock this. It's pretty decent. You'll get on some jobs where some studs are not correct and this, that, and the other thing, or even in your house. We got to flare this out. Our best chance of success when you're sheetrocking is you want to put a factory butt joint to a factory butt joint. Sometimes we can't do it. We don't have the material, or we're trying to use as much material as we can. So you're going to actually free cut this. You cut it with a T-square. So now you have a factory butt joint up against a joint that you cut by hand. Okay. So our job is, and typically we're going to get that joint where it's going to rock a little bit, opposed to the recess where the tape is sitting below the surface. Now we're going to put tape on here and we're going to create a little bit more of a hump, which is fine if we know how to address it. We're going to wind up flaring this out to flatten this out, and that's going to be our goal. Smooth and flat, right? So hopefully that makes some sense. And again, if you ever have any questions, we're going to be available to answer questions. We're going to give you our contact information. We're going to give you our email address, so on and so forth. If you do have any questions, I'm going to be more than happy to answer any questions that you have, because I know this is a lot of information to take in all at once, especially if you've never done it before. You're probably like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? But you're going to be able to do it. Follow what I'm saying. Pick up the techniques that I use. Hold your knife correctly, and you're gonna do very, very well.